Welcome to My English Podcast.
Learn, practice, and speak with confidence.
Did you know that the biggest obstacle to speaking English fluently might be that you know too much grammar?
Wait, what? That sounds completely wrong, Mia. How can knowing too much grammar be a bad thing? We spent all our time studying it.
I know, it sounds so strange. But think about it. When you're in a conversation and your brain is busy thinking, okay, wait, should I use the present perfect or the past simple? Is this an irregular verb? Do I need an article here? By the time you figure it all out, the moment has passed. The conversation has moved on.
Wow. Okay. I see what you mean. You're so focused on the rules that you can't just talk. That's a really interesting way to think about it. I never thought about it that way before.
Exactly, and that is what we are going to talk about today. Hello everyone, and welcome back to My English Podcast. I'm Mia.
And I'm Max. It's so good to be with you all again. Today's topic is a big one. It's the one thing almost every learner wants: how to speak English without thinking. How to make it feel natural, easy, and automatic.
Right. We want to help you unlock that effortless fluency. We're not saying grammar isn't important, of course it is. But today, we are focusing on how to move past the stage of constantly thinking and translating in your head. We have 5 secrets that will help you do just that.
These are practical, simple things you can start doing today. And the first secret is directly connected to what you just said, Mia. Secret number 1 is stop translating in your head.
Ah, yes, the big one. This is probably the hardest habit to break, but it's the most important. When you hear something in English, your brain might immediately try to translate it into your native language. And when you want to say something, you think of it in your language first, then translate it into English. And that process is just so slow. It's like trying to run a race with heavy boots on. You can't be fast, you can't be fluent.
I remember when I was learning Spanish, this was my biggest problem. Someone would ask me a simple question like, "What did you do this weekend?" And my brain would just freeze.
Oh, I know that feeling. What was happening in your head?
Well, first, I would think of my answer in English. I went to the park with my friends. Then I would start translating word by word. I is yo, went is the past tense of go, which is ir, so fui, to the is al, park is parque, and by the time I put it all together, I felt so slow and awkward. The other person was just waiting, it was stressful.
It is really stressful. It takes all the fun out of the conversation. So how do we stop doing it? It feels so automatic for many learners.
It does. The key is to start small. You have to train your brain to think directly in English. And you can do this by yourself. You don't even need a conversation partner at first.
Okay, so what's a practical step?
Start with the things around you. Right now, look around your room. Don't think of the word in your language first. Look at the object and say the English word. Chair, table, window, lamp, book. Just connect the object directly to the English word.
I love that. It's like building a direct bridge in your mind from the real world to the English word, with no stop in your native language.
Exactly. And once you're comfortable with single words, you can move to simple phrases. Instead of just coffee, you can think, "I'm drinking coffee," or "This coffee is hot." Start narrating your life in very, very simple English sentences, just for a minute or 2 a day.
That's a great start. It's not overwhelming, just a few minutes. And that leads us so perfectly into our second secret for speaking without thinking. Secret number 2 is learn in chunks, not single words.
Ah, this is a game changer. What do you mean by chunks, Mia?
Well, when we learn vocabulary, we often use flashcards with one word on them. For example, the word depend. We learn depend. But in a real conversation, we never just say depend. We say things like, it depends on the weather, or you can depend on me, or it depends what you mean.
Right. Those are the phrases people actually use. They are groups of words that always go together. Those are chunks.
Exactly. These chunks are also called collocations or phrases. When you learn these chunks, your brain doesn't have to build the sentence from zero. It already has these small, pre-made pieces. It's like building with Lego blocks instead of making your own clay bricks.
That's a great analogy. So instead of thinking, okay, depend, what preposition comes after it? On? Of? You just know the whole chunk. Depend on. It becomes one piece of information.
Precisely. It makes speaking so much faster and more natural. I remember struggling with the verb to look. There are so many prepositions. Look at, look for, look after, look forward to. I was always getting them wrong.
Me too. It was so confusing.
So I stopped trying to memorize the rule. Instead, I just learned the chunks. I wrote down example sentences. I'm looking for my keys. Can you look after my cat? I look forward to seeing you. And I practiced saying them. After a while, the right preposition just sounded right. I didn't have to think about it.
So the practical advice here is whenever you learn a new word, don't just learn its definition. Look for the phrases it's commonly used in. You can just type the word into Google and see the sentences that come up.
Yes, or use a website like Youglish, which shows you video clips from YouTube where people use that word in a natural context. You can see the chunks in action. Then, write down 2 or 3 of your favorite chunks and practice them.
This is so powerful because it helps your English sound more natural too, not just faster, and it makes you feel more confident, which actually is related to our third secret. Secret number 3 is the power of thinking out loud.
Ooh, this one might feel a little strange at first, but it is so effective. What we mean is, talk to yourself in English.
Okay, people might think we're a little crazy if they hear us.
Maybe, but it's one of the best ways to practice producing English sounds without any pressure. There's no one to judge you, there's no fear of making a mistake. It's just you and your own voice.
I completely agree. It's about building the physical and mental muscle for speaking. So how does it work?
It's very simple. You just narrate your daily activities. Just say what you're doing as you're doing it. For example, when I'm making my morning tea, I'll do this. I'll say, okay, time to make some tea. I'm walking to the kitchen. I'm going to get my favorite mug. Ah, here it is. Now I need the tea bag. I'll boil some water.
It sounds so simple, but I can see how it would help. You're actively searching for words and forming sentences in real time, but without the stress of a conversation partner.
Exactly. You get to practice connecting your thoughts directly into spoken English. It's the perfect bridge from just thinking in English to actually speaking in English. At first, you might be slow. You might say, I am, or I need the hot water machine. And that's okay. You can look up the word kettle later. The important thing is you are practicing.
I used to do this when I was driving. I would describe what I saw. Okay, I am stopping at a red light. I see a big blue car next to me. There are people walking on the sidewalk. It became kind of a game.
Yes, it can be fun. You can talk to your pet, you can talk to your plants. I used to talk to my plant, George. Hello, George. You look a little dry today. I think you need some water.
Poor George. I hope he got his water. But seriously, this is such a brilliant tip. Just 5 minutes a day while you're cooking, cleaning, or walking can make a huge difference. You're building fluency when you're all alone.
You really are. And speaking of building fluency, that takes us to secret number 4, which is a technique used by professional interpreters and language learners all over the world. It's called shadowing.
Shadowing.
This sounds cool and mysterious. What is it?
It's actually very simple. Shadowing is when you listen to a native speaker and you repeat what they say at the exact same time. You are their shadow. You try to copy everything, their pronunciation, their rhythm, their intonation, the little pauses they make.
So you're not listening and then repeating. You're trying to speak along with them.
Exactly, as closely as you can. It's a very active form of listening. You're not focused on the meaning of the words, you are only focused on the sounds and the flow. This creates a very strong connection between your ears and your mouth.
Wow, that sounds intense. Why is this so helpful for speaking without thinking?
Because it forces you to stop translating. You don't have time. The speaker is talking and you have to keep up. It trains your mouth to produce English sounds automatically, without your brain getting in the way to analyze grammar or vocabulary.
I see. You are bypassing the thinking part of your brain and just focusing on the physical act of speaking. It helps you get used to the natural rhythm of English.
It really does. English has a certain music to it, a certain stress and intonation pattern. Shadowing helps you feel that music. When I first tried it, it was really hard. I was stumbling over the words and I couldn't keep up.
So, what's the best way to start? How can our listeners try this?
Start with something very short and clear. Maybe a 30-second clip from a podcast like this one, or a short scene from a TV show you like. Choose a speaker who speaks clearly. First, listen to the clip 1 or 2 times to get familiar with it.
Okay, just listen first. Got it.
Then, play it again, and this time, try to speak along with it. Don't worry if it's messy. Just try to copy the sounds. You can hold the transcript in your hand if it helps. Do this 5 or 6 times with the same short clip. You will be amazed at how much better you get.
That sounds like a powerful workout for your mouth and your ears. It's like taking your English to the gym.
It is. And it directly builds the skill of producing fluent-sounding speech. And this brings us to our final and maybe the most important secret of all. Secret number 5 is accept imperfection and focus on communication.
This is a big one for mental health as a learner, isn't it?
It's everything. We have to be kind to ourselves. The fear of making mistakes is the biggest thing that freezes students. They get so scared of saying something wrong that they say nothing at all.
I've seen that happen so many times. A student knows the answer, but they're too afraid to speak. Their mind is full of worry. Is my accent okay? Is this the right word? What if they laugh at me?
And that worry, that fear, is the enemy of fluency. To speak without thinking, you have to let go of the need to be perfect. The true goal of language is not perfection. It's connection. It's communication.
That's so true. Did the other person understand you? If the answer is yes, then you are successful, even if you made a grammar mistake. I had a beautiful moment with this when I was traveling in a small town in Italy. I was trying to buy a train ticket, and my Italian was terrible.
What happened?
I was trying to ask for a ticket to Rome, but I forgot the word for one-way ticket. I just froze. My mind went blank. The man behind the counter was looking at me, and in that moment, I just decided, who cares? I'll just try. So I used my hands. I pointed and I said something like, ticket, Rome, go, no come back.
No come back.
I know, it was grammatically a disaster, but the man smiled and said, solo andata, one way. He understood me perfectly, and I got my ticket. In that moment, I realized that communication is so much more than perfect grammar. It's about trying, using what you have, and connecting with another person.
That is a wonderful story, Max. And it's the perfect example. We need to give ourselves permission to be imperfect. When you're in a conversation and you forget a word, don't panic, try to describe it.
Yes, like if you forget the word scissors, you can say, the thing you use to cut paper. People will understand you. That is also a skill. It's called communication strategy.
It is, and the more you do it, the less you fear those moments. You start to trust that you can find a way to express yourself, even if it's not perfect. And that trust, that confidence, is what allows your brain to relax. And when your brain relaxes, you can finally start speaking without thinking so much.
Exactly. It all comes together. So let's do a quick recap of our 5 secrets to speaking English without thinking.
Great idea. Secret number 1 was stop translating in your head. Start thinking directly in English by naming objects and narrating your day in simple sentences.
Secret number 2, learn in chunks, not single words. Focus on learning common phrases and collocations so your brain has ready-made pieces to build sentences quickly.
Secret number 3, the power of thinking out loud. Talk to yourself in English to practice producing language without pressure. Narrate your daily activities.
Secret number 4, shadowing. Listen to a native speaker and repeat what they say at the same time to improve your rhythm, intonation, and automatic speaking ability.
And finally, our most important secret, number 5, accept imperfection and focus on communication. Let go of the fear of mistakes. Your goal is to connect and be understood, not to be perfect.
These are such fantastic, practical tips. And the beautiful thing is that they all support each other. As you learn in chunks, it becomes easier to think out loud. As you shadow, it becomes easier to stop translating.
It's so true. It's a journey, and every little step you take helps. Don't feel like you have to do all of these things perfectly tomorrow. Just choose one to start with. Maybe this week you can try naming 5 objects in your house in English every day. That's it. That's a huge win.
A huge win. Remember to be patient and kind with yourself. Learning a language is a marathon, not a sprint. You are building a new skill and that takes time, but you absolutely can do it.
You can, and we hope these secrets help you feel more confident and start to enjoy the process of speaking English rather than fearing it.
That's our goal. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for joining us on My English Podcast.
We love having you here. Keep practicing, stay curious, and remember to be kind to yourself. We'll talk to you in the next episode.
Bye for now.
Bye, everyone.